Alright, now that we're starting again, it's important to know that if you're doing this at home, you don't want to make these comments, because if you're trying to trick your opponent into not knowing what pile you want, obviously talking about the choices is not a good idea. We are comfortable enough with each other's skill level that we know our comments shouldn't affect the outcome too much more, because we know each other from so many years of playing and everything. And we're also good enough players to pretty much always know what's going on with this.
And this is also more for you guys at home. I mean, we do this for fun, but it's also, hopefully you guys have never seen this, try something new.
Okay, so of these cards, this one doesn't count because it just represents a basic land for how we're working this.
You can take the basic lands out. I've done it both ways. It really doesn't matter too much.
So what we have here is a decent aggressive card, a very good, like a pretty good removal spell, and then we've got the conditional removal spell that hits flyers but also doubles as a creature. Obviously, with me having the Drakes, I expect him to want the little wagon guy that kills flyers more than he would want Smite the Monstrous. I'd be happy with either pick because it seems like I'm branching into white. So either way, colorless or white, it's not necessarily a disadvantage to me. More so than it would need to be. The fact that the Geist Catcher hits flyers, though, makes it a little bit more valuable, I think, than Smite the Monstrous would be. He's aggressive, but the shovel works against my Drakes. I don't really want him getting that going. So the way I'm going to separate these is I'm going to give him the shovel, which hurts the Drakes, but not really anything else that I have going on, or the thing that kills the Drakes once they land, and the aggressive card, because at this point he seems more control-ish than not. This is a basic land, so really it doesn't. I could make a third pile and throw it out. It doesn't matter. It's not going to affect his choice. So I may as well flip a coin when deciding which pack. I'll just pick that one just because I don't really care.
Alright. Again, my thoughts on the curse are, if you can reliably stick it on turn 2, and if you can pile multiples of them up, it's actually not bad. I've had a few games that have come closer than I would like them to have because I've been cursed. Geist Catcher, it's 4/5 body for 6. It's not awful. The fact they could come in and nail a flyer, it's pretty good. Smite the Monstrous, from what I've seen so far, is not the best removal spell. I have not seen any rebukes, Into the Maw of Hell, Brimstone Volley, the Knight, the double black Knight card.
Victim of Night.
Yeah. I haven't seen any of those removal spells. So really comes down to what I want to give him a second curse, or would I like to take the better removal spell? The shovel, while he was slightly concerned about it, it's very slow, and it's, I believe, of their choice anyway. So it may not be very good. Are you shovel? Yeah, it's of their choice. So there's no guarantee it'll actually hit. So it's not a very good card. If he had had more larger creatures, I would take Smite, hands down, and just rely on my counter magic, my bouncing flyer, and my bounce spell and my various combat tricks to be able to deal with his flyers. But again, I am still worried about having enough actual bodies. So I will take the Geist Catcher rig as basically just planning on it being a body and upshot if it hits a flyer.
I'm not upset getting Smite of the Monstrous here, and while the shovel should not have been a great concern, it was worth worrying about because of the fact that there hasn't been a lot of things that eat the graveyard revealed yet, so he might have wanted it. Possibly dropping it turn 2 and keeping me off the Drakes was something I did not want to risk.
Who do we have a hell of a pack here?
Oh, do we? I hope that wasn't sarcasm.
Vulcanwrath Noble. Very good card. Changes your math a lot. I have had 2 of these before, and they are insane. Another elemental dude, standard fare. He's pretty good. Either he's the only guy around and he's a 3/3, and you're beating them with him, or they have guys and they just throw him into the bus every turn, and he eventually gets there. Very good flyer. A decent removal spell. A little slow, but it's removal. And one of the best cards in limited format, Bloodgift Demon. As I said, one hell of a pack.
This is indeed an impressive pack.
And there is so much power here, I'm not even quite sure how to split this up.
I'm glad I did not have to make that call.
Alright, well obviously the Bloodgift Demon is the most powerful card here. Let's think about this. He is not heavy into black right now. Bloodgift is double. So I would really like to get the Bloodgift. I can play it. I am more in black than he is. The only problem is there are 2 other very good black cards here and a very good white card. Compared to the rest, the red guy is okay, but nowhere near special enough. So I'd say on power level wise, this may be a mistake, but I think the demon is powerful enough that I'm willing to give him the other best 3 cards in the pack if he takes that pile and gives me the demon. On the other hand, if he decides that the demon is also worth it along with his tag-along red friend, this pile I'd be very happy to take too. Again, I am not entirely sure if, concentrating on this much is good, but I have lost several times in limited to Bloodgift Demon. Bloodgift Demon. He is very, very good.
As far as taking this pick goes, the demon is good. I started out early in the black department, but have since been removed from it in favor of white, green, and blue. The flyer is very good. The removal spell, in case he goes aggressive, could still be a decent black splash. And the noble, as was said earlier, really screws with the math. The fact that it's not a optional trigger, I'm kind of disappointed with the set for making everything mandatory, but that's neither here nor there as far as picking goes. I'm out of black, so I'm much more likely to splash, and the 2/3 flyer is not bad to pick up. I'll take picks 2 through 4 rather than the primary pick.
Again, that could have been a mistake, but from my experience, the demon is just such a bomb.
not a bad pack. Obviously, some of these are more control oriented, some are more aggro. The red seems aggro, the blue seems to be the control cards. Think Twice is not terrible for the aggro either. The Death Touch Snake is a nice combat trick because if you have 2 mana open, they need to be worried. It doesn't have first strike, which would make it better. I don't have any of the equipment now. Not that I'd be able to use the flash and equip cost at the same time. So I could either give him a combination of 2 good aggro cards and one that's kind of in the middle versus 2 better control cards, or some variation thereof. I don't seem to be in red, so I could kind of skew the pack in his favor by going and giving both red in the column and putting the others in a different column, at which point it's does he want to cut me or does he want to help himself? I am a little reluctant to give him the wolf too hastily, though, because he does already have a first strike wolf, and I do not look forward to too many first strikers on the other side of the table. Think Twice is very good. The crab is good if you're control, but otherwise is not amazing. I think that as far as splitting goes, he's probably going to want the wolf more than the noble. So I'd rather have the snake and think twice, but while it may not I'd rather go this route for now. If he wants the aggro cards, it frees me up more for mid-range to control, and if he's going to take the cards that I, at this point, want more than I'd rather have, if he's going to take those, I'm not too worried about the crab because I'm not playing aggressive, and a lot of my guys have evasion of some sort. Think Twice is good. The snake is also good, but I don't see him playing green. I think he'd rather take the red, so that's how I'm separating.
I don't have very many vampires to make this a really good card. And from what I have so far, I'd much rather be more controlling. The wolf goes well on either. I like the wolf a lot. However, the wolf does not get through the crab. Ever. And Think Twice goes nicely with Delver Secrets, another instant or sorcery. And cutting a removal spell from him is good times. So I will take this file.
I'm not happy with the red picks, but it does make him less aggro, which my deck, likely being 3 colors, a lot of which are double colored, does kind of. I'd rather face against control than I would aggro.
Alright, so this pack is mediocre, let's say. Basic land, no one cares. Pilgrim, good in the human deck. Good for mana fixing, acceleration. Ritual, it requires a sacrifice. It's a morbid enabler. I don't really see it being so good. I mean, it's definitely not the red dark ritual. Ghoul Caller's Bell, if you really, really need to mill yourself, it's fine. But otherwise, I mean, if he had had some, curses going, and maybe some of the occultists, I would be a little more scared of this card. But as of right now, it's just a shot in the dark for him to try to get some more food for his stitched friends. Which leaves the only decent card in the pack, the Villagers. And as far as the curve goes, they are actually very good. 2/3 for 3, which is perfectly fine early on. Trades most things. Stops a few things from coming in that only have 2 toughness. And then once he flips, obviously doubling up is very good. So, power level wise, I mean, the basic land is a wash. So basically, yeah, we'll stack it 4 for 1.
So, I still need to pick up bodies, as was mentioned earlier at this point. The ramp from the mana producer could be good for me, but I'm not willing to, at this point, jump up 1 mana because I don't have any creatures to jump into at this point. I'd much rather take the safer bet and strongest card in the pack. That is also in my color.
Pack was not very impressive.
Another basic land. Some interesting cards. The removal spell that makes something a flyer is decent. The kill spell, a lot of stuff has low toughness, it seems to be in this set. I'm a little worried about aggro. I know he still needs bodies over there. I'm not overly inclined to go into black, but he does need bodies. I'd rather not face against the snake, so I could either do... Basically the way I think to go with this would be to put the aggressive creature with the worst removal spell, because using it on my guy gives me a blocker forever. Whereas the enchantment acts as good removal. The snake I don't really care about. He might care about that, and then the basic land doesn't even matter. So I'll just pick a random pile.
Alright. I am really not a fan of that enchantment. It's, in my opinion, is a wasted card slot in your deck. There's enough removal, good removal in this format, that you really shouldn't need to play it. And suppose you get into a situation where it is an eternal blocker. Well, it's not doing anything else, and eventually they're going to get more guys and stuff's going to get through. I would rather have an actual removal spell. The vampire would be nice. It's a flyer, it's a body. Like I say, that's probably it's the second best card in the pack. The deadweight is obviously the best card in the pack. And I do have a minor zombie sub-theme. I have a Ghoul Caller and a Ghoul Raiser. In fact, there are 2 Ghoul Caller things. So I'm really like a corpse lunge away from having a decent use for the snake. If not as it stands, he trades with large guys and just keeps coming back to it again. So I will happily take what I'm going to dub the removal spell pile.
I would have preferred the dead weight, but that pack wasn't really going to help me either way, so. Another tough decision on his end, probably, based on the comments.
So I seem to have the misfortune of having to split the bomb packs. There are really only 2 bombs in this pack, however, they are very good. Mr. Dragon there, which if he lives, you are very hard pressed to come back. The removal spell to deal with said dragon. An enchantment that's not so good. Some land. And they destroy an enchantment or a spirit. I will be honest here. The dragon is very, very good. But the removal card does deal with it. I can play either card and would be happy playing either, to be honest. And again, the basic land is sort of a wash, so we'll put that there.
I'm not really into black or red very much here. It's unfortunate that the bomb and the removal spell are in those colors. I just kind of have to hate draft on the dragon because I cannot face against that, and the kill spell will be very more useful in the toolbox, but I can fight through an extra kill spell. I'd be giving him the dragon. If it sticks as it stands, I have 2 ways of killing, and I do not look forward to facing that across from the table, so I'm going to take it.
Just a note on the way I stacked those piles. I would not be red and white. I'm looking to be one of either. So I'm definitely going to be playing black. So I didn't want to mix the red and the white in case he took the other pile, because then I wouldn't be able to play both. And he does have an enchantment or 2 to worry about, so I may actually need to play this.
Time for the less impressive pack, just according to how everything's been going so far. We've got a Delver of Secrets.
Oh boy. Number 2.
A basic land and Make-A-Wish.
It's the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Why did they name a card Make-A-Wish? I don't know. That ghoul zombie is probably going to be his pick regardless of the rest of the pack split here. I do need more creatures. He seems to have a minor zombie theme, and in fact has already said he does, so I would look forward to getting the plant. I really don't want him to get the 3/2 first strike zombie that allows him to gain life. So I'm going to split the pack in that manner. I can still go black if I need to, whereas I'm certainly green and blue. I believe it's better for me or better for him, so he has to choose whether to help me or hurt him. Or help me or help him.
Make-A-Wish is a pretty good card. It's better actually in the more aggressive decks when you're getting back removal or a guy you threw away to get some damage in. The ghoul is very, very good. It's Mr. Butcherman. I would like to have another Delver, now that I have a few more instant sorceries to have a chance of flipping him into the 3/2. So basically at this point I'm pretty much just weighing the Butcher against the Delver, and I don't think he can realistically activate the Delver as much as I could, and the Ghoul is just so much better. Should I have to deal with the plant wall, I will when that comes to that.
The plant wall is really what I wanted there. I'm not particularly inclined to be in black, so the green cards certainly help. The chance of me actually flipping the Delver is not very high. However, if I need a guy, he might turn into something.
Alright, so this is a pack. Sentry, a Cultist, or a Cultist, Estivore, Wooden Stake. Alright, so this pack is pretty good. A card that you'll play pretty much all the time if you're heavy enough in red. A very decent white card. Prey Upon I've been very impressed with. It is a very good card. Just the fact that you can use it in green to kill a flyer even if you were mono green is just so good. The Boar, good both ways. 3/3 trample for 4 or a 5/5 for 4 after Morbid. So these are some of green's 2 better cards at the common spot. And the stake again is a stake. Vampires beware. I'm setting it up this way because I know he needs guys, and at this point it's looking like I'm more leaning towards red, so I would much rather have the Cultist. So at the price of giving up a removal spell, he would get 2 guys, or he could take the Cultist away from me and cut himself 2 guys, which I could then play white and play the Sentry.
He's not really into white or green at this point. My picks so far have not really done I haven't done a good job of cementing myself in colors. If I go with red, then I just have a giant miscellaneous pile of stuff I need to do. I get the advantage of getting the equipment at the expense of 2 guys. My blue spells are kind of heavy. My green spells are also relatively heavy just because I want to hit them when I want to hit them. I don't have many guys to throw, but he sort of does. At this point I need guys. I can't afford not to take these. And the last separation is my call. The tree that he hates so much.
Oh,
This is fortunate for me because there is a bomb and the You Can't Kill Me bomb in the same pack, which is very advantageous because he hates the tree with good reason. I hate the tree as well when I have to face against it. He's not really in green, so basically as long as I don't put the 2 bombs here in the same pack, I win with this little thing here. On the one hand, the tree is more easily splashable. So I don't really have artifacts, so the card here, Ancient Grudge, won't help him. It could potentially help me. The question is, do I want the tree or do I want the bomb that returns 2 guys when it goes to hell? Either way, I don't see myself being upset with the call. I do have a couple werewolves, not tribally sound, but it could help me. Basically, what I'm doing here is making him hate the tree at the expense of giving me a bomb and useful combat tricks for my wolves, or I'm getting myself a tree that will buy me several turns of game. And while it's true he will also potentially buy himself turns with it, there's not a whole lot I can do about that. Either way, I'm happy. Here.
Ice Pack had to be heavy in his dollars. Ooh. So irrelevant. And he does have a few transform guys that I would have to be aware of this, but it really just comes down to Mr. Crazy looking dude here. Do I have enough removal for that? Do not be worried. The removal in these packs was not very good. We didn't see so much of it. I'm probably just going to take the tree here. I mean, I'm going to have a hard enough time actually winning. I don't have as many guys as I'd like. So I really can't afford to try to punch through more damage. So I have to take the tree.
It sucks losing the tree here, but I do gain a bomb. I'd much rather have the tree, but that's how it worked out. I got myself 3 green cards.